All right, the next one is quickly hooking up with a Microsoft Access database. So I've got just a generic spreadsheet. I've already connected to an Access database, but I want to connect to another one. If you know the database strings, there's some other things. So if you've got an SQL database, you'll have to have the IT guy set up a connection from your computer to the SQL database first. But you'll be under the Data tab. It'll have some options: access from the web, from a text file. Other sources will be from an SQL server. When you go to SQL server, you actually need a few things. But if you've got an SQL server name and a username and password to connect to the server, you can do it. I don't have an SQL server to connect to, so we're going to use a Microsoft Access database. Doesn't need a password. So if I browse to it, which is on my desktop, Excel Crash Course, sample files, I got database 11. I'm going to bring it in. I want it to be a table. I'm going to bring it into the existing worksheet, and you just click OK. And it'll pull in that database. It doesn't do a real-time refresh because it keeps like a copy of the data in the actual spreadsheet. But if you know tomorrow someone's updated the database and you want to make sure you have the current results, real simple. When you're in this table or in this worksheet, if you click in the table, you'll have that new design tab for tables. You just hit the refresh button. And it'll go out, when you hit that refresh button, it'll go out, it'll query the database and bring in all the new information from that database so you can start working with. Then you have the ability to export it and do a lot of that other stuff. But usually, unless someone's got different access than I do, they usually don't let you write back to the database. You can only usually pull like a read copy from that database into your report. This would be the way to do it. And then, pull whatever reports, build what graphs you want against it. Because once the data is here, you can highlight things, you can insert a chart. Even my chart's not going to look right, but based on the information you pull in, because mine's not chartable, but you can pull in charts, write pivot tables, everything that we've already worked with, build formulas against it. If I wanted to use that concatenate option, and I want to concatenate this and this, I can concatenate it into another column. So all those things principles that we've worked with prior to this works the same way. And I know we're running short, so I'll really quickly go, yeah?
Can we be selective on which fields we pull from the database?
With some of them you can. You can, delete out the columns as well. So sometimes you'll get an initial feed. With SQL, you have a little bit more options to select what fields you want. Otherwise, if it pulls in everything, then you can just go through here and delete it out and clean it up in that manner. So then I can work with it in that way. The thing is, it'll make more sense when I show you how to do the macros, because after you pull it in, you'll just click your macro that you created, and it'll do everything for you automatically.